Hello.
Hello. I don't
Hello.
know if we're live yet. I guess we'll find out.
After the YouTube count,
I don't see a YouTube count.
it'll take it a minute.
I see
You,
nothing.
you, well,
Nothing. Anyway.
delay.
Yeah, it always does that. That's fine. Hey Val. I'll have to watch replay. Okay, Val, you take care and have a fun day at work.
Oh, mercy.
Because work was a little bit crazy this week for me.
Pardon me.
Oh no, go ahead, yeah. Work was nuts. Bananas.
But now
Crazy.
you're here with me, so it's all better.
And it's hi Jane. Oh, the fall outfits. Yeah, we didn't even know. I mean, we knew, but we didn't plan the wardrobe. We knew
That's
what we were talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
we popped under like, oh my god, we match.
I know. I should have worn my wig.
Oh, all right, wig. Come
Girl.
on, wig. Girl, child. Anyway, so welcome to another weekly chat of Double D live chat here on my channel today. I am Dolores and Miss Damn Joey. Hey, Gosha! I'm gonna see you soon, girl. I'm gonna see you soon. I get to go see. I get to go see. Oh yeah, hey H12. I'm glad you got it work. I get to go see Gosha, y'all, on Sunday. We're gonna go to the Arrow Market. I'm so excited. Okay, faces. Hey, Kelly.
Kelly.
I mean, I haven't seen her since the summer, so it's been far too long.
I haven't seen her ever.
Go to her channel and you can watch her.
I need to meet Gosha and I need to meet Monica.
You just spoke her into existence.
There we go.
It's Monica.
Steal my heart.
Yeah,
You steal my little gay heart. I'm in love with a straight woman.
Okay, but I can give you that because she is absolutely gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Take Daniel with me. Well, he needs to fly over here first. I mean, I'm driving to Scotland.
I know. I'm trying to. I'm trying to. I signed up for Buy Me a Coffee. I'm trying to get over there.
You should just be honest. Just buy me a plane ticket. That's what you should call it. Never mind the coffee. Just buy me a plane ticket.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, child. So what's the weather like where you are?
How is the weather? The weather has been absolutely beautiful. It's another glorious fall day. It's warming now. It's going to be a summer in the next 3 days because it's going to be near 80 for like 3 days. Yeah, it went from being 40s for 2 days in the 50s today, and then we're going to be in the 70s and upper 70s through the weekend.
But still, that's still not bad though. I mean,
well, it is bad. I don't like 80 when it's fall.
Okay,
it
true.
should not be that. It should be this. And you should be able to grab a cup of hot chocolate with a splash of pumpkin spice creamer in your favorite mug.
Where'd you get the t-shirt for Christmas with a face on it? Hey, Sally. No, we're not talking bugs today.
No, it's not my turn, Sally. We're not going to talk about strange, odd things.
Bring on the 80 weather. Yeah, here it is. You too can get a mug like that. No, I'm just kidding. You can't. It's the only one.
It's my precious.
What smoke? Jane says it'd be a beautiful day there if it wasn't all that smoke. Oh, you mean? Hey, Catherine. Yes, we matchies.
And we didn't even plan it.
We're sisters from another mister. Yeah. So today it rained all the live long day today. Literally all the live long day. I got out. I had to go to Tesco, which is a grocery store here, and I had to, get out and go walk into the store. Which I usually have people for that, but they were at work, so so I had to go myself to the grocery store. So I went. Didn't I just walk straight into a puddle? I was like, y'all drainage situation's a little rough here. You need. I was so mad. I got my foot got wet, and I was with boots because it's fall and I can wear boots. But well, I mean, Catherine can wear a whole parka because it was snowing over there. She's like, boots, I can wear a ski outfit.
I know. I got angry the first night that the temperature was falling. There were snowflakes. I went out with the dog and there were snowflakes. And
At your house?
Yeah, it was teeny tiny. It wasn't much. There were snowflakes. It did not make, I was not happy.
You was like, I'll get turn the heat on. Damn.
Yeah, well, that's when I had to. I mean,
Yeah.
that was, and it's like, not yet. So, yeah.
So where's Sally at? She had snow yesterday. Hey, Suzical.
You think I would know since Sally. But
I
don't remember.
Here it rained. It's been cloudy and rainy, and it wasn't that particularly cold. It was probably in the like low 60s, which is warmish for this time of year, to be fair. But when I go to Scotland, it's going to be. Oh no, she doesn't. Oh, Sally's in Northeast Michigan. Well, girl, yeah. When I go to,
I'm a jet setter. I'm going to how. I have to ask this, and maybe I have.
No.
Just for comparison reasons. So how long does it take you to drive from where you live to Scotland?
About 5 hours.
5 hours. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit longer because I was trying to compare it if it's like me driving up to Chicago or not, but that's a little bit farther.
Yeah. Hey, Sandy.
It's about 2.5 hours to 3 hours to drive to Chicago because I was just trying to compare our drive here in the state compared to you going to a whole another country. What
it is another country.
Yeah.
In fact, it might be its own country soon if the way things keep going. Oh, by the way, if you didn't hear, our prime minister quit. Anyway, so now we're prime minister-less yet again. It's just it's a real shit show over here. I'm just gonna say it.
I told Dolores, I'm like, that's funny because our people here don't want to give anything up, and your people over there are just leaving left and right.
Well, when you crash the pound to the point that it hasn't been that low in 40 to 50 years, you probably kind of got to walk away. you know. So now there's going to be another. Now, when I say election, we're not talking politics. I just wanted to bring this up because it cracks me up. We're not having another election. Like, well, we are, but it's not a general election. It's not where everybody can vote, because if that happened, the Tories would be out and Labor would be in. So they're just going to have the Tories are going to just vote amongst themselves. Y'all did such a good job last time.
This sort of goes along with our theme because it's the fall of the prime minister, and it's the fall of the season.
Yes. So thank you for taking me off the political track, Daniel, because I was about to go down one, and we do not want to hear Dolores yell. Because it's not why we're here. There'll be another discussion later. When I do get wound up. Yes, we're here to talk about fall, y'all. Autumn, fall, harvest season, autumn solstice. All the things autumn. And here's why. Because it's my favorite time of year. Not just mine, but a lot of people's favorite time of year. People, when they see when we get to August, they're like, I see autumn on the horizon. People are genuinely like, wow, autumn. I love it. And I love it because I never lived in a place growing up that had seasons. I lived in Texas, and for the first 30 years of my life, and I never, ever had a season. Well, no, wait. There was hurricane season. Does that count? That's a season. So never, ever, ever I never had autumn growing up. We would buy new school clothes, and they would be like flannels and desert boots. I'm aging myself, and Levi's, and we would die of a heat stroke getting off the bus because all of our clothes were far too warm to wear in the first part of the school year in Houston, Texas. You were going to die. You were like, oh my God, get this off. It was just like, I mean, we didn't have uniforms, obviously. Here they do. So here they have uniforms when they go to school. And diehard fans can be seen sipping their, pumpkin spice or their other Dolo mugs, and their attire, their whole attire changes. They're like, oh, let me get mustard colored something on. Let me get some browns, some neutrals, and some wood color, and let me prepare for the event, which is fall. And it is a beautiful time of year. Temps start. Well, I mean, in most places, temps start to cool off. Not where I was from, but temps started to cool off. And when I was a kid, I thought, and the only reason I even knew autumn existed because of movies, because we show didn't have it. So I would see the movies and the TV shows with the autumn leaves, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to live someplace like that one day. I'm going to live someplace like that. And guess what I did? I mean, that wasn't why I originally moved over here, but I'm glad I did, because we have seasons here. I mean, summer could be a bust, although this past summer was like the hottest summer ever on record, of course, with my non-air conditioned self. But yeah, H. Welch, I am aging myself when I said desert boots. She old. But it's like it's like, if you, like I said, if you're lucky enough to live in a place where the foliage changes and the leaves change, and you get, hey LaDonna, you get to, you get that crisp in the air, and the sky is clear because it's cool, and you can stargaze, you can wrap up in a lovely sweater. These are the things I love. And there's also, this is why I want to talk about it, because there's actually a psychological reason why people love autumn, which I found fascinating. I can't say that it didn't surprise me, but it was fascinating. Some of the things were fascinating about why people love autumn, or why psychologically why they like autumn. So Daniel, do you like autumn?
I do. It is my favorite. I'm waiting to say more stuff till after you're done with your psychological thing to see
Okay.
if anything that I'm going to say falls within.
Right. So okay, let's get into the psychological part of it, because I found it fascinating. So basically, it's a temporal landmark in our minds. It's kind of like a birthday or a new year. You mark stuff off with like, well, this year I'm gonna, for my birthday, or this is a new year, new me. So it's kind of a temporal landmark, and that divides our lives into different mental phases. So we can remember things that happen around events, like birthdays, Christmases, maybe the birth of somebody, the death of somebody, someone's married. It's a landmark. And and for us, autumn is kind of like, and this is a weird thing, it's kind of like a fresh start. And I know people think, well, why would autumn be a fresh, why would we associate autumn with a fresh start when that's the new year, and or spring? Well, and this is a funny question, because I asked my coworker this, who is British, and obviously, and he's lived all his life. So and the reason why it seems new is because in our we're socialized, socially conditioned to associate fall with going back to school. So new things start when you go back to school. You're going to be a new class. You're going to be, maybe meet new people. You're going to start new activities. You're going to get new clothes, perhaps, for your start of your new year, your new school year. So in a way, autumn is kind of like a new beginning for us. And because we're socially conditioned to believe that when we're young and we go to school. Now, funny thing is, I was talking to my coworker about that, and I said, and I was, because he's not a fan of fall, which I'm like, why are you talking to me? How do I even know you? Oh yeah, we work together. So, and it's because he's got these big trees in his garden. They dump leaves, all the leaves. He's got to go rake them up. But I said, well, doesn't it remind you of when you started school? He was like, no. I was like, but you started new things. He's like, well, I just went to school. And I was like, but you didn't think of it as a new beginning? He was like, I didn't want to be there. And I was like, oh, okay, see, you just ruined the whole thing. Plus, I said, what about your new school clothes? He was like, we wore uniforms. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Anyway, I'm done with you, Paul. That's my coworker, Paul. I'm done with you, Paul. But and that's, he doesn't associate. I think it's more maybe an American thing where like the starting of school. I mean, everybody goes to school, but I think the start of the school year is a big deal. At least it was for me. You get your new school supplies or whatever. Everything was new, and that's why in our minds it's like I said, temporal landmark to indicate something new. And this is why a lot of people like autumn. Plus, during the summer, everything is a little bit chaotic. You know, you're out of school or your children are out of school or people, you go on vacation and everything's kind of up in the air. When autumn happens, you're back on schedule. And as a species, we like a routine and we get back to our routine. And when the fall starts, because the summer's over and the holiday and all the, kind of not the chaoticness of going on holiday or people being out of school or, everything changing. And that's why when we go into autumn, it's like routine is back, which I found those things quite fascinating. No.
My turn.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yes, go, just jump in, Daniel. You can interrupt me. You're not going to be rude if you interrupt
I'm
me.
listening. I'm fascinated. I want to listen. Sometimes I do listen. I may not remember, but sometimes I do listen.
So thoughts? That's the first part of it. There's more, but I want to hear what your thoughts are
Okay,
about that.
so this is my personal deal with me and how I feel about it. A two-foldy type of thing. So we'll start with the psychological thing. I view it sort of like life because you're a young kid, a baby up to a
Yeah.
certain age. That's spring. Summer, you have your teen to 20 type of thing going on, all energetic and bright and just go, go, go. And then the fall is your midlife stuff. And to me, it's slowing things down, shutting things down, preparing things to die. And then winter is our really old age just before we kick the bucket.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, no, and that is because we associate those times of seasons with our own lives, like you just said. It's a temporal landmark for
And
you.
Going into fall from coming from summer, I mean, we all have our own weather likes and dislikes and all that stuff. But there's only, if you're used to seasonal change, I'll put it that way. There's only so much of heat and humidity and all that stuff that you can take before it really starts wearing on you. And it's just boring and you're over it.
Yeah.
So fall is okay, so it's going to get cooler and now I can do a little more things outside and it feels like you're letting out your breath. You're taking a sigh because you've just been summers like go, go, this, that, something else. The days are longer. So you're just like go, go, go. Now the nights are coming and so is the darkness in the brain. That's why you need to get a happy light. Buy a happy light. Anyways, it's slowing things down for me.
Correct.
But here is my deal too. Fall is my favorite. I do like it, especially with the weather we've been having because it's just right. It's like I'm not sweating my cojones off or I'm not freezing them off. It's just that, in between little perfect weather, especially this year. I am impressed by this year here.
You and my coworker would get along well, LaDonna.
It has just been the most perfect fall that I've seen in a very, very long time. But I get melancholy. Fall
Mm-hmm.
makes me very, very melancholy. It makes me miss all the people who have passed on.
Yeah,
It it just I just miss. I mean, not that I don't miss them all the time, but there's something about the fall
it's more heightened in the
that
fall.
makes me really miss them and makes me more melancholy, and also makes me melancholy for living in the past,
Right.
missing the old days
Sure.
and all that stuff. So there is that part of the aspect of it that it does make me, and I think part of it too is because of the daylight situation. It's shutting down more and it's getting darker
Yes.
earlier and all that stuff. But um, I love fall; it's beautiful. But it always still, I have in the back of me a melancholy just because I'm
Right.
missing things.
I
I'm
mean,
done.
and
That's it.
no, and the thing about, and they're talking about like winter's going to come. And I understand people who probably live in who always lived in colder climates find that like that's why a lot of people go like to the south or like Florida and stuff to have winter in there. I lived in a very hot place. It was absolutely roasting all the time. And there's pictures of me as a child with my on Christmas Day with my new pair of roller skates in a pair of shorts because that's how I lived. When I got to experience what seasons were like, and these winters they can get cold here. Now they're not Canadian cold or Michigan cold. I mean, but they can get that way. And it can snow. It doesn't usually snow until about January or February. We very rarely have a white Christmas. And yeah, Monica's lived in was is from Mexico, so she understands hot. It's like um and so I just think that I really when I got to a place that had seasons, I was like, oh God, this is what it's like. Oh wow. In Texas, it was hot, less hot. And then it was Christmas. That's kind of how. And like LaDonna says, sometimes in Omaha, it's hot at Christmas. I think it just depends. I've never been to Omaha. I'm sure it's beautiful. It looks pretty in the pictures that you post, LaDonna, and on Instagram. But I would like to go there. And I just thought, I think you have a thing about where places like New England. I have been to New England in the fall, and that I absolutely cannot wait to go back. I loved it so much. It was absolutely amazing. And the thing about cooler temps actually has some mental health benefits, which I also didn't know. And well, I do know cooler heads prevail because again, I'm not where I'm from. In the summer, the homicide rate goes up because it's hot and people are pissed off. And just they have guns. And so, but the cooler temps and the fall leaves and the beautiful colors, like Catherine had said, encourages us. So what it does is encourages us to spend time outside because it's not too hot. It's comfortable enough to go for a walk or a hike or just be outside more because of the cooler temperatures. And that's actually a health benefit. And it's good for your mental health to get out and just clear your head sometimes. Sometimes you just need a good old walk just to get it all off. And if it's like 110 outside, you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If it's 60 to 70 degrees, just like, let me take a stroll. So and apparently the cooler temps can bring a clarity to your thinking, which I find true. I feel like, well, I think I feel very sluggish in the summer because it's hot and we don't have air conditioning here. It's just not a thing here really. So yeah, people get real twitchy in the heat.
I do not find my mental capabilities any different in the fall than in the summer. I cannot remember in the summer. I cannot remember in the fall. I cannot remember in the winter. I cannot remember in the spring. Y'all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's like people don't feel as sluggish. I think sometimes in the winter or in the fall, where it's a little bit crisper. It's a little bit like, ooh,
You can
I feel
breathe. You can breathe. Literally,
yeah,
you can breathe the air.
yeah, 100%,
It's not
yeah,
like walking outside and somebody's throwing a wet wash rag on your mouth and you're trying to breathe through it.
yeah, and I just think that. and here when it gets hot, it's like ridiculous because that's like I said, we don't have an AC. We'll throw open windows, but sometimes, like this past summer, throwing open windows in 103-degree weather just was not that good. Hey Sam, hey John Robert, um, and so I just I prefer, and I like the leaves changing. The leaves are changing out here and around my house. It's just I drive home from work and I actually have a really nice drive because it's quite rural. And so I from my work to my home is a bit of a rural path road. I mean, still a mainish road, but it's just all farmland and trees, and it's so pretty. So, oh yeah, I Ladonna, yeah, I can deal with light sweater weather, but just like being bundled up in coats. As long, yeah. The problem is with that is when you go into a store and you have this big coat on and you're like hot as hell. You're like, oh my god. Well, I went to a store the other day and I was shopping around and I had my vest on. It was like what we call it a Gillette, but a vest that had like fur lined. It was quite cold outside. I ended up taking it off and asking the lady behind the counter to hold it for me while I shopped around because it was too hot. But and that's the thing about it. And the swapping our summer wardrobes for our fall clothes, it kind of takes the pressure off our physical appearance. There's not that, gee, I have to have my bikini body, which never happened ever in my life. But hi, Anna. But I, yeah, it's not in a built up area. That's true. It's not, that's what we say. It's not in a built up area. Yes, exactly. It is chubby girl season. I'm into it. I'm a chubby girl. I ain't got no shame about it. Never have, and I never will. Well, thank you, Anna. And I think that the pressure is off you to be like, well, I have to wear my skinny jeans with my skinny t-shirt, which is absolutely fine if you can wear that. Good for you. But for us, a little bit healthier girls, us, us big bone girls, we could throw sweaters on and we're like, yes, bro, I'm home. These are my people with the sweaters and everything on. So, and also the combined that being able to, you know, not have to be so concerned about your body and it is kind of a bonus to some people, and that it's socially acceptable to eat all the Halloween candy because that's okay. you know
Pies. Pies are coming. It's pie season's coming
Pies and
up.
stews,
Pies and stuffing.
stuffing.
I would say, like meat and stuff, but it's becoming so expensive. I have a feeling that people are going to be eating air for lots
Right.
of potatoes going on this year.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes formed in the shape of a turkey.
Of like, yeah. Look at my my mashed potato roast.
That's right. You don't all have to worry. It's all white meat. There's not a bit of dark meat on this.
No dark meat in this mashed potato turkey here. But yeah, and you get your pies. People start to bake more because they're inside more because it's dark outside or the weather's poorly. And you start to make your stews and your cottage pies. Hey Tammy, and all the things. So, and it's comfort food. And again, because we're wearing these bulky clothes, no one cares that we eat mold in one piece of pie. So that's the good thing about it. And speaking of Halloween, it's just one of the many holidays that's about to come up on us. So it's kind of like you have holidays sprinkled through the year. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some, you have like 4th of July and Easter and, this, President's Day or whatever, or I don't know, do you celebrate that? I mean, you know, you start to, but through the year you have a couple of holidays sprinkled in. But at the end of the year, it's bam, 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 all the holidays come. And you're like, whoa, it's like rapid fire. Hang on, I'm still in Halloween. Give me a second. But it is, and people have a lot of associations, some sad and some happy with the holidays that are coming up. So I pumpkin pie is my favorite. You understand now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What?
Just put a pie in front of me. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Mm. But and holidays can make you feel nostalgic. You know, and um, and it reminds you of things, and maybe you can get together with people, or you just, you know, and because it is so dark out, and the nights are drawing in, it's like let's put every twinkle light that we ever own up.
Yeah. See, I know part of the fall thing too is I know it's coming because since I've
Oh
gotten
yeah,
older, I have seasonal disorder. I'm
right.
sad.
Yeah,
Seasonal affective disorder.
so
And I
it's sad.
never used to have that at all. Did not understand it. My sister has it. I never understood it. And then bam, I got old and here it was. And I'm like, what is all I want to do is stay in bed and not come out and just be in my pajamas, not even shower. It's horrible. So I did buy a happy light. I do
Yeah,
plug in my happy light. Now, last year wasn't too bad because we did have sunshine a lot for some odd reason in between the tornadoes. So it wasn't as that. So, yeah. Um,
but I think obviously fall also is the time to gather things for, like you were saying, for the winter. It's almost like we're gathering just based on evolution. That's what we used to do, gather and prepare everything for the cold months that we need to survive. And um, uh, I think that's what we carry into today. And of course, it means different. Like we're like, okay, let me line up my Netflix movies to see what I'm going to watch on.
well, and also fall for those who are true, real gardeners, they're in the second season of gardening because
Mhm.
they're doing all their fall
Yeah,
stuff that they planted in the middle of summer for their fall harvest. So a lot of that's going on now, the apples and the gourds and all that
yeah,
stuff. So you have your putting things up in the summer, you're hot and heavy going because the garden's just producing stuff. And now you have doing the gourds and all that different stuff. And, you know, so, and it's time to look back at the beautiness, if you do can,
yeah,
all that stuff that is sitting there waiting to get you through winter, all the
yeah.
glorious different colors, and it's going to taste good. Isn't that
Amazing.
like home canned stuff? I just don't know how to can, and
I know. Yeah,
I can't grow a garden because I got 15,000 groundhogs living around here.
yeah. They'll eat it for you. I mean, I think what I look for, what I used to look forward to, not anymore. I mean, I still do look forward to when I can get back home. But my mom and my aunts used to spend, would spend weekends in the autumn making tamales, and we would eat tamale, and it was like a production line. My aunts, my mom just making the tamales, and oh, and that and every, and it takes that many people to make them. I'm sorry, and I said to Dave, we should make tamales, and he's like, didn't it take like about 8 people? I was like, well, maybe not 8, but more than 2. So it doesn't, and I did. It does remind me of food, and in the like eating and the getting all together and making, and they would make dozens and dozens of tamales because, child, you could eat 1 dozen in one sitting. Easy, no problem. At least maybe I can. Easy peasy. So we used to always make tamales, and you know,
I don't think I've
oh
ever had
girl,
a real one. I've just had, if I'm thinking of the right thing, I've just had them in the can.
oh, that's not the real thing. Well, they just got the corn husk. You put the masa on the corn husk, and then
Yeah, I just get I've gotten the ones in the can, and they're kind of like a dough with some odd flavored chopped up bits of cardboard in them.
yeah. We usually made, traditionally they're made with pork. In fact, traditionally they're made with the face of the pig.
Hog jowls.
Yeah. Hmm.
Woohoo!
Very good. Hi, Shirley.
Well, I've
Very, very
never
good.
had a real one, so if I had a real one, I'd probably be
Oh,
pleasantly
you would. Oh, they're
surprised.
so good. Oh my God. Oh, but and then you were talking about sad and some ways to boost your your well-being during when you get the when you get sad, and I don't mean sad like sad. I mean like the disorder. Um, and a lot of it's and I know it's taking a walk through nature when you can still when it's still nice out, or if you have the opportunity to go out and take a walk, do that, because the fresh air in the outside really, really does boost your mental health. I have suffered with, um, you know, bouts of not depression, but just like feeling bad. And as soon as I uh, go outside and walk in the crisp air and all that, it just, I just temporarily forget like what is going on. Like, I can kind of clear my mind and maybe think logically about what's bugging me, how I can sort it out. And it's just, I just think walking in nature,
I
walking with
used
children.
to walk, but these last, few years, I just stopped doing it because I don't want to see anybody. Yeah, I just don't, because we have to recall, my neighborhood. I've had, you know, been offered to, if I wanted to buy drugs.
Right. Say, no, I'm good today.
I've
Thanks.
had several things along the walking trail. I'm like, you kind of have to get outside of town. So
Right.
I just haven't really walked, and I've, you know, been gaining so much weight because I've gotten lazy and I just like to eat. And I'm not even for sure if I have a coat that's going to fit this winter.
Oh, Lord. I'm sure you'll find one. Hi, Helen. Thanks for popping in.
And the thing is, you think I would start losing weight because I can't afford to buy food now, but the food that I can afford to buy is horrible for you.
Yeah, that's the,
Like,
yeah.
I'm living off of ramen and bologna right now.
Yeah, Sandy. The walk in Scotland will be beautiful because they have, like I said, they have all the trees and beautiful, foliage, and just it's all happening in Scotland.
I'll let you
Um,
guys know. I'll let you in on a little
oh,
tidbit from me
I'm
in
listening.
Dolores in Scotland. I make her try to find me men in kilts. And so far, she has yet to provide me any men in kilts.
I will
So
try to catch one this time.
that's right. I'm like, every time she's walking through all these I'm like, where's the men in the kilts? Show me the hot men in the kilts.
He's like, I want to see nature. Where's the
I'm
mini
like,
kilts?
yeah, that's cute. Whatever. Where's the men in kilt?
Well, when I find one, I will definitely take a picture of him or video him.
You know what?
Um,
I'm hoping that I'm assuming you guys have that you can hear me because I just noticed I kept my microphone shoved over there. Let's move this in front of me. Maybe that might help.
Yeah, and there's lots of things like, and also walking in nature boosts your oxygen, and oxygen is will tends to release more serotonin, which is your happy thing. You feel happy, when your serotonin gets released. Um, Also, map out your goals. Sometimes when we get a little bogged down, I know I'm um uh notorious for getting things that bog me down, and I just feel like overwhelmed, and there's too many things to do, and da 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 da. I'm thinking, okay, stop, hold the phone. Let me map this stuff, and let me your list. Map out what you want to do. Map out what plans you have, even if it's for the next week, or what you want to plan for next year. Just to kind of focus yourself. Sometimes that helps with because when you're feeling down, everything seems to be 10 times on top of you. It just seems like that. It really does. And
Well, the great thing about you being in England too is your walks, everything's old over there and
yeah,
historic, and cobblestone streets and cute little older stone houses and so you get to see a lot of his stuff that I would love to see, the quaint little villages, the quaint little
Mm.
streets and all that stuff. And I don't think you would have a whole lot of people trying to sell you things as you walk.
Not here. Go to Nottingham, yeah, no problem.
Well,
But yeah, but here no. Yes, hello, Helen from Kenya. Kenya's in the house. Yes, thanks for. Oh, so glad you're here, Helen. Thank you for popping in. So we got. Oh, it's international today.
I know.
I'm in England. You're in the States. Helen's from Kenya. Monica's in Italy. Gosha's Polish, but she's in Scotland. So I mean, we got going on here, y'all.
Canada. We got
Canada. We
Canada
got Canada
now.
representing. Yes, for sure. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in. Also, here's the thing. Make time for the things you love. Make time for it. Just it sometimes it's hard to carve out time in your day, but hey Cindy, but you have to find time to do the things you love, whether it's crafting with Daniel, or you like to knit or sew, or you like to make things, or you like to make junk journals, you like to write, you like to draw or paint. Just carve out some time to do that, because that will give you a little bit more. Hi Jazz dear. Girl, your cat had an appointment. So my cat had a hair appointment now. Try to carve out the things you like to do. Try to find time to do that, because that's very important for your own happiness. It's and sometimes the holidays are hard on some people. They're alone, or they don't want to see their family, or for whatever reason. And to me, that's the perfect time to do something for yourself. Even if that means get a little face mask from the CVS or wherever, the Walgreens, and just have a nice pamper yourself evening. Even just by yourself. I just think, you should just try to find those things to do that make you happy, small or big. It doesn't matter. So what are we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sandy.
Look at Major Johnny Thompson. Oh, okay. She's maybe it's one of the kill. I'm unclear.
There's these two guys. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like weightlifters, and they run around without their shirts on, and they're in kilts.
Well, that's when you go to the Highland Games and they're tossing a caber. That's not what you think it is. It's a big piece of wood. It's a big log, and oh my God.
They're tossing their wood?
Yeah, they're tossing their wood, honey.
Wow.
Very far.
I gotta watch that.
Just look up Highland Games. You can find it'll be there. Thank you, Jazzy. I try.
I can't wait to get to England so I can drive 5 hours to
go watch the man toss the cabers. And they do the big, what's it called? The big.
Oh yeah, the big ball, the ball swingers.
Balls and cabers. Oh my God.
Ball swingers and woodchuckers.
But I just think that, I mean, look, here we are laughing and stuff like, and sometimes hanging out with friends, or being able to speak to friends, or just being together. Sometimes that's what you need. You need a little bit of laughter, a little bit of levity. And we're going to be here through the winter. So you have us.
I make poor Dolores listen to me as I'm driving around, because I get bored. I'm like poloing her. I'm very safe while I'm driving. I'm not, but I'll polo her and I'll just be talking. Just like she's in the seat next to me driving around.
Well, and I'm in spirit. I'm next to you. Yes.
It's very boring driving through the cornfields of Illinois to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot of cornfields. I know. I've seen them.
Yeah, I'm like, look, this is what I have to do.
And then he's like, that corn's ready. That's not quite ready. That corn's going to be harvested. And he's telling me all about the corn. He's safely, mind you. But yeah,
you have no idea.
Here's perfect. And Gosha's got the perfect idea for you guys. Look, she said, I love candles, blankets, and tea. Perfect autumn when it rains. Exactly. Just Find those things like that make you happy,
You know
that
what's
give you,
really sad?
pardon?
You know what's really sad
What?
is I love candles. I've loved them for a long time. I have become allergic to them.
You can get non-scented candles.
It's not the same as pumpkin spice filling your house full of wonderful flavors. I still do it, but I can tell. I think that's why I'm stopped up all the time because I've got a couple Glade plugins that are pumpkin spice. I'm pretty sure this started around the time I plugged those in. Just say
But yeah, I mean, and just those little things like that. And like what I tend to do sometimes when I'm feeling a little, I'm gonna pamper myself. I go to the dang pound store, which is like the dollar store, and I go buy those face masks and the little feet masks, and I sit there like listen to a podcast, and then when it's all done, I'm like, oh, my skin feels so soft. I feel like, wow, brand new. I may look just as old as I already am, but I feel better. So you should, just these little things like that will really help boost your mood. And again, doing the things you love, finding the crafts you love, or trying new crafts, or you know pick up an instrument. You can't play it, who cares?
and a
It's
lot
fun.
of people look forward to the pumpkin flavored, fall flavored stuff.
I
It's
do.
a thing, waiting all year for this. Not that you
Yes.
can't have it all year long, but you
Right.
wait because that's, the marketing people know. Let's put
Yeah,
this
no.
all out during the fall because that's when we'll make some money leading into the fourth quarter. This will get things pumping up because people want that. Oh my God. I've never seen so many posts about pumpkin spiced latte from Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yeah.
I'm like,
Here's another good one from Tammy. Hey guys, put your ideas in here for pampering yourself or just enjoying yourself. Happy drink in a vintage glass and a hot tub, or wrap up in a blanket with a good book and a movie and forget about it. Exactly, Tammy. I'm in. Coming to your house and hanging out in the hot tub apparently because wow.
no. No. Absolutely not.
So, but just those little things that make you feel good is what yes, it is the romance of the fall. Pumpkin spice and sharing and you know, all the things. I just I just think that I wish I had a girl, if I had a fireplace, I'd be like loving it. But
At
then
fireplace, I'd probably burn the house down.
I was gonna say I'd probably smoke the place out because I have no idea how to use one.
Well, and you gotta make sure you keep those. I will never forget. Off on a side tangent here. Uh, when we moved into a modern house, and we'd had modern houses before, but it had a stove. That's how you heated it. It was an actual wood stove, and lit that thing. And this was when I was a kid, and the chimney caught on fire. The chimney caught on fire because you got to clean that soot and that creosote out of there,
Yeah.
or there were sparks like flying, and we were hoping that the house wasn't going to catch on fire. So I will never forget that. That is the only thing I learned. You got to clean your chimneys, people.
Well, if you ever have a chimney, we'll get your chimney sweep. That's where to kill.
Oh,
uh what did Jazzy put up here? She said one of the houses for sale in Albuquerque has an indoor hot tub. I'm tempted to share with my husband. I like it.
indoor hot tub by myself, I'm okay with, but
Yeah.
I am about to go visit nobody else and
I don't like, if I know you, I'll be fine.
get this body sitting in a hot tub stewing with somebody else.
See, now this is what Jazzy is right. There are more homes with fireplaces in Houston than there are in New Mexico. Why? Because Houston, yes, my brother has a fireplace. Jamie has a fireplace. My other brother has a fireplace. Everybody I know has fireplaces. I'm like, where y'all like now? Yeah.
I have a little plug-in electric fireplace.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I used to have
Yeah.
yeah.
It costs so much more. It would be much cheaper to have a wood burning stove than that thing. First year I used that, I'm like, "Oh my," because there's 2 different electrical things you could do on, like a
Yep.
1,500 and 1,000, and
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was doing, so I just hit 15 and turned it on. Man, when I got that bill, I'm like, "Woo!
That's never going
Fireplace
on again.
is done.
Yeah. Well,
We're done."
we had one hardwired into the wall. It looked like a little coal fire. And but it lit up and everything, and it was like, and it got on my nerves after a while because it had like a hurt, like a it stood on this piece of marble, like it was like, I was like, this has got to go because came with the house, and I was like, we got to take this out because this is getting on my nerves. Because if you turn it, on, it was pretty when you turn it on, but it just took up room. It was like, I mean, these aren't big houses, so I'm gonna need every inch of space to decorate. You got to move this. This has got to go.
Tammy,
So
it's true. You're sitting in a big soup box, stewing your juices with other people's juices.
see, now here's the truth about fireplaces right here. There you go, Cindy. I have a fireplace, but really use it. I cough and sneeze so much, it's not worth it. There's the truth. Uh, my friend used to have an old wood stove, which I'm sure she still does, and boy, that would throw out some heat. The only problem is, only threw it out like in that room. We'd go upstairs to bed, we'd be freezing.
Yeah, or when the fire I
Yeah, it goes
mean,
down. You have to keep
have to
stoking it.
stoke
Yeah,
I remember, dad getting up in the middle of the night having to stoke that thing, or otherwise you woke up to seeing your breath.
yeah, yeah. It was and I just that's fall, y'all. Oh, well, I wanted to talk about it because it is my favorite time of year. And it's really, if you think about it, only a short period of time.
Mhm.
It's not as long as, I don't feel like it's as long as summer or winter or spring. I think it needs to be longer. I think we should go ahead and put in a request. It won't be my government because they can't even be in office for longer than 45 days. We'll ask somebody to make it longer.
Well, it's technically as long as the other ones.
I know, but it just doesn't seem as long. I think it's because I
Because it gets cold
it, yeah,
quicker. There's more of a drastic temperature, it seems,
correct.
than the
Yeah.
other ones.
You don't have that constant lovely 55 to 60 and it just stays there. It either gets too hot and I'm like, why am I wearing a sweater? Or too cold and I'm like, I should have put a coat on.
That's why I'm amazed here in the Midwest, in Illinois specifically, with this fall. I c I have no complaints about it whatsoever,
I
although the
love it.
temperatures coming up are a little above what I consider fall, but whatever, it's only gonna be 3 or 4 days. But, I'm just amazed by the wonderful it's been dry, it's been beautiful, the sun's shining, and it's lasted a long while. I'm just amazed by it.
Yeah. And I just think sometimes I think she said, I'm in Texas and we had 3 days of cool weather. Fall may be girl. Yes. They put that out there. We were lucky. I mean, I remember growing up in Houston and it wouldn't get cold until like the very end of October. And if you were lucky, it was cool on Halloween, so you wouldn't die of a heat stroke in your Halloween costume.
Well, what's been funny here with the weather, the West Coast has been in extreme hot weather,
Yeah.
like Seattle and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
bizarre.
went down to the 40s and they're in the 80s. Well, it's flipping this week for a little bit, but I just find that really odd too, that to be colder than Seattle.
I know. I know. You were colder than us. When you said what the temperature was, I was like, how cold? What? You're
Yeah.
like, I got to turn my heat on. I said to everybody lives in the house, which is Dave and 3 cats. I said, we ain't putting that heat on until it gets to 30.
I had to because it did overnight. It got
Right. Yeah.
we had 3 nights of freezing weather, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I
I
gotta.
said, so y'all better just cats cuddle up with each other. Dave put extra layers on because I ain't turning the heat on. I ain't paying that bill just yet. It's too expensive. We
I'm
got extra clothes.
not looking forward to the bill now because
No.
it's gonna be outrageous.
To be fair, if it gets like even in the winter when we turn the heat on, because we have upstairs, downstairs, so heat tends to rise, and I'm a lady of a certain age, and I get hot. Okay, I don't want the heat on all dang day because I'm gonna sweat because I'm a menopausal woman, and I don't want it to be hot when I sleep. But so we'll turn the heat on like because down here it was where it stays cold because it's obviously down here slower, but upstairs it gets quite warm. But what we tend to do in the wintertime is we'll turn the heat on like early in the day, then turn it off, and at night I take a hot water bottle, the old fashioned kind. You should see it. It looks like it's from the '60s, and it's this old pink rubber, hot water bottle. I fill that sucker up, take it to bed with me. Woo, honey, it feels so. I love it. I'm totally showing my age right now.
I'd be waking up with wondering why I peed the bed.
Put the lid on properly.
We're talking about me. If strange things can happen, I'd be like, oh, great. It's just a little bit before my death because now I'm peeing the bed. It has happened. Yes, so let's talk about that real quick. Time change. That is usually when my seasonal disorder kicks in a lot because it goes to being dark at 4:00. It just, in that time change, you have to, it just messes with the adjustments of your body and how you have to get around and stuff. It's just, I don't know. I don't like the time. They need to just leave it alone. I mean, come on. We didn't used to do time changes back in the day. We just lived our days.
Well, here's the thing. They always claim it's like it's for farming. I'm like, I'm sure the John Deeres now have lights on them. I'm just saying. I'm sure John Deere and New Holland, they have headlights on them. Hey, Rebecca. She's
welcome. It's not even my week, Rebecca.
We're talking about
somehow thinking about me.
Correct. Yeah, I think I agree, Catherine. Time change is outdated, isn't it? And I said, oh, so when the kids go out to school, ain't no children walking to school. You don't get moms and dads taking them to the Range Rover 2 blocks over. No one's walking.
There's got to be, once again, the dark side of politics or whatever. There's got to be a reason that they don't change it.
Some kind of money is changing.
There's got to be something up about it because they don't want to change it, even though the vast majority of people do not want it anymore.
Correct.
But yet they won't change it. There's got to be.
I blame the Tories.
I got my tinfoil hat on. I just know there's got to be something.
I completely blame the Tories. That's their fault. Why they can't no one can keep a job longer than 45 days, so it's their fault. I never got a ride to school, even elementary school. Yeah, we didn't. I had to walk all the way to the bus stop to catch a bus. I could have walked to school as long as it took me to get to the bus stop.
Well, when the unmodern house that I was talking about, was back in the woods on a dead end. And
is that where you saw Bigfoot?
Yes. And in the spring, I didn't see him. And in the springtime, they always had with the school buses your what they call it, winter routes or whatever. Mm-hmm. They weren't allowed to go down certain roads because they were so heavy that when I would have to walk a half a mile
here we go.
To get to the end they would not come down that road whatsoever. I'd have to walk up, and that's where they would drop me off and pick me up.
Well, I live in a dead-end street, so they weren't going to take the bus down there and turn back around. They like, here's the closest corner. I hope you make it. Hope you make it walking home.
It literally was a half a mile, and it didn't matter if it was raining or whatever. That's just, and I had to walk it because Dad went to work early. Mom didn't drive. We had one car, so that's
my mom didn't drive either. We only had one car, so no one was picking me up from the bus stop all the way. They were just like, well, we're going to drop you here. Hope you make it. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I hope hope Bigfoot don't get you when you walk.
Or hope you don't have to pee really bad.
Well, you'd be fine peeing in the woods.
Yeah, there were cornfields.
Not the cornfields.
Cornfields before you hit the woods.
No one gonna see you. You was a short little kid. You can find your way back out though might be a problem. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. Thanks so much. Rode her bike to across the scary dark part. See, kids ain't gotta do that no more. Kids ain't riding. Their mama's picking, daddy's picking them up in Range Rovers. Anyway, or the Teslas, whatever they're driving now. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. We appreciate you talking about fog. We're here every Thursday. Next week it's on Daniel's channel. And don't forget to follow Crappy Crafting with Daniel. The link is in the description of this live. So if you want to check out all his links, go ahead and do that. And we will see you next week on Daniel's channel.
Hi, guys.
Bye. Take care.